So, welcome back, everybody, to the second episode of the True Gentleman podcast. A little bit different setup. We're at Andrew's place this time. Welcome. Not drinking whiskey this time. We're drinking Coors Light because we're
feeling really mild today.
Yeah. We went kind of hard last time with the whiskey. We went through multiple bottles in a very short amount of time.
It was kind of a celebratory thing.
It
doing
really
the podcast
was.
for the first time, getting to hang out for the first time in a long time, so we lifted up, and I think I'm still paying for it actually.
Yeah.
So
it's been 3 weeks, right, since our last one?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2, but work got in the way.
You messed up, dude. You're working like 70 hours a week.
It's getting old.
Yeah.
But we're doing it.
You don't watch the Super Bowl, did you?
No, I did not. I actually worked through the weekend.
Did you watch any highlights?
No, I haven't been involved in sports in a while, which is sad to say because I used to be very involved, and I really have missed out since the whole COVID season started.
Right. So, I don't know if you know, but Tom Brady is on the Buccaneers now. I don't know if you knew that.
I do.
And they went to the Super Bowl and won it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, 10 Super Bowl appearances and 7 rings. You know, as a Raiders fan, I don't like Tom Brady because of the tuck rule and the continued success that this man has had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to watch, but you gotta appreciate it at some point. Like, all I can say is that I'm glad that I seen it. Like, I was alive during the Tom Brady era. The 30 for 30 that they're gonna make about this dude is gonna be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it is. No, he's got some stupid numbers, but you do kind of have to hate the guy who wins the most, right? That's just kind of how it works. Like, you kind of have to hate on success.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because he's an extremely talented individual, obviously. Very clearly he's one of the best, if not the best.
He's the GOAT, dude. He's the GOAT, and I'm not a Tom Brady fan, I'm not a Patriots fan, I'm not a Buccaneers fan, but I did call half the Super Bowl, though. It was like week 3 or something, and the Raiders were like 2-1. They had just beaten the Saints and like someone else. They were looking pretty good. They were 2-1, 3-1. And then the Buccaneers were looking really good. Also, I think they had just beaten the Saints. And like week 3, week 4, I said the Super Bowl is going to be a revenge game between the Raiders and the Bucs, because the last time the Raiders and the Bucs faced in the Super Bowl was 2001 or 2002 when John Gruden was coaching. Only coach to ever be traded. Mm-hmm. The Bucs traded for him for a first-round pick, and then the next year the Raiders and the Bucs met in the Super Bowl, and he beat them. So it was like a revenge story. Very so I thought that, I was like, you know what? First year in Vegas, and that stadium is gorgeous, by the way. Vegas. The Allegiant Stadium, which this dude has never been. You know, we said that last time, right? You've never been to Vegas. We need to go. No. We definitely need to go. We need to take advantage of the coronavirus discount because rooms are cheap. Rooms are super cheap.
Take advantage of the pandemic when you can. You know, I gotta tell you, I respect the fact that you're still a Raiders fan, even though they've left. Yet again.
Win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation.
Well, it's hard to stay loyal to a team that just continually leaves its home city, right? I mean, they went to LA, that didn't work out, so they came back, and Oakland took them back, and now they're going to leave again. Like, poor Oakland, man. They've been through some stuff.
You know what? At least, you're a Niners fan. Your Candlestick or Levi Stadium's in what?
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. That's not San Francisco.
No, it's not San Francisco. It's not out of the state now. Nor is it.
They're not the Oakland Raiders.
No, they're not the Oakland Raiders.
It's not like they have Oakland Raiders and then play in Vegas.
No, but they're the Raiders. But I just feel bad.
At least they played in Oakland.
They did play in Oakland. Well, the Niners played in Oakland as well. But I mean, you can call them. I've heard them called the Santa Clara 49ers.
I always hear them being called the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers.
49ers, yeah.
No. You know, I gotta say, I do feel like a little bit of a cheater when it comes to a sports fan because I have not really followed this year.
Yeah.
So my loyalty is wavered.
You're a baseball guy.
Yeah.
So your passion is with baseball. You played a little bit. You're a national champion in England.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well,
brag about it?
There's not too much to talk about. It wasn't a braggable event. It was
Yeah, what's it like being a national champion for one of the most unpopular national sports? Like if it was soccer.
It's hard to be a national champion when it's hard to call it that when there were 6 teams in the league. So it was like club baseball, but it had a national title to it because there was no other baseball in England. So it was just it's an up and coming. I want to say it's an up and coming sport. There, it's still very new. It doesn't have a big following. It's not
like football has much more of a following.
But it does. Yeah. Football has a surprising following out there. It's
what's the team of choice over there? Is it the Seahawks?
No, it's.
Am I just associating with the rain in Seattle with the rain in England?
Which is a fair association, truly, but it's more of the East Coast. Baseball over there, a lot of it's the Yankees, and football over there, a lot of it's the Patriots. A lot of bigger East Coast successful big organization teams have just kind of they have more of a worldwide dominance, which is to be expected. But yeah, football it's big over there. It really is. It was impressive. They have several leagues and at several different levels and actual like paid positions. I mean, obviously it's not the same level of professional sports by any means, but it's starting to get bigger.
What was it like being on the team over there on the baseball team? Like, is
was,
there any level of celebrity that like comes with it? Like, what's the territory like?
No, your territory is most people you talk to don't really know baseball or know of the sport in general or know the rules or anything
like that. Would you be more of a big deal as like a big cricket player?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, cricket's a world recognized sport, whereas baseball still is in its infancy, especially in a lot of the European places. Like I went and traveled, and we went to my favorite place that we had gone to was Prague in the Czech Republic.
That's where my uncle is.
It was.
That's where his wife's from.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
It was very different than anywhere else that I'd really been. It was a lot old, like more traditional kind of. You could tell it had been around for a long time, and it was really cool. But even baseball over there was much bigger. They actually had proper stadiums dedicated to it, and it wasn't. You didn't really have to fight as hard to find somebody who.
That's
knew
cool though.
baseball.
That's something a lot of people can't say that they've done is. 1, be a national champion, and 2, be.
We're gonna put air quotes around the whole national champion.
I'm gonna talk you up because I feel like that's an interesting life.
It was
in
different
terms of
than I
because you were there. You were with your family. They had moved out there. You mentioned so you still kind of get the traveling of it, and you still kind of get like the status of being a professional athlete.
No, there was no status. It was like a club. It was actually called the team I was on was the London Mets Baseball Club. So it was club baseball.
Okay.
Just because there's no other organization that they can claim the national title. It was a fun league to play in. It was not a competitive league in all reality. It was just more of...
Do you remember when I would help you train when we lived in Idaho?
Yes, when I was playing for Idaho, we would go out in the snow and go play on the little turf field that was outside because it was too cold for everybody else to play on. And we would do a little cross-training between baseball and football because you were trying out for the...
Yeah, I was going to be a walk-on on the football team, so I was conditioning and working out, doing drills like that. So you'd help me with my football drills, and I would attempt to help you.
You did just fine.
I did not do just fine. I played Little League. I played T-ball, and I played a couple years of Little League. And then I got hit in the head with the ball and never picked up the sport again. I walked away from the sport completely. Never in my life have I played baseball since.
It's okay.
And so I'm still very much scared of the ball. You threw way too hard.
You threw the baseball just about as good as I threw the football, though. So I think we were just about even on that regard.
Yeah.
It's
but you weren't scared of the football. Like, you weren't fearful for your life. Like, when I was pitching you for your batting practice, and that supposed net that was going to save my life, it was throw and immediately, like, hit the deck. Because I feel like you were intentionally trying to hit me. Like you appreciated the fear.
I did. I did.
It was comical to you.
It was accompanied by a scream more often.
Because it
made it entertaining.
It was like the leg up, like, ow, I'm gonna get hurt. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't like any form.
You never did get hurt by that. I don't even think the ball.
It hurt my hand.
Okay.
When I would catch the ball, because I would palm it, because I'm used to like a football. Yeah. You know, I didn't know you had to catch it with like the web.
I mean, it's a whole nother. It's a leather tool.
That made a big difference. That made a big difference.
But that was entertaining. That
so
was a good time.
Going back to like COVID and that kind of messed up not the football season, the baseball season, because that hit right when
spring training was starting.
Spring training, like it messed up opening day. You weren't gonna have an opening day. A lot of people thought that the whole season was gonna be canceled altogether. Mm-hmm. You know, in terms of all the sports that kind of gotten messed up with COVID, like the NBA was ending their regular season. They were getting ready for the playoffs, and they postponed that, and then they managed to continue that. But like baseball completely got put on hold. And then even like the games, like a lot of people don't go to games. Like I can't watch baseball. Baseball's too slow paced.
You do have to appreciate the sport. It's football. There's a lot going on at all times. It's more of a fast-paced, shorter attention span kind of sport. But if you understand baseball and you appreciate baseball, there's another level of appreciation to it. And they do still have plenty of fans. There's still plenty of stadiums that get sold out on a regular basis.
Isn't it like the 4th or 5th most popular sport in the country? It's like football, basketball, college football, NASCAR, and then baseball.
I've got me through NASCAR in there too, just to be safe, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think NASCAR has a bigger viewership than baseball does.
You really are a hater.
I don't. But it's not a sport. It's a game, technically.
And this coming from the
definition.
Dodgers did win the World Series.
You know what? What was interesting? I don't think this has ever happened because the playoffs don't line up. Mm-hmm. But I think this is the first, or last year was the first time in history that a city had 2 national championships. The Lakers winning the finals, and then the Dodgers winning the World Series. Both happened in October.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
See, I don't follow that.
Because the playoffs for the NBA got postponed so long that the final round, the last 7 games, happened in October, and then the regular season for baseball just started late, but they kept their playoff schedule, so they just had a really short season.
Yeah, they cut it down by over 100 games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? No one watches baseball anyways.
This is really sad coming from you. But your team, your quote-unquote team,
won
the World Series this year.
Yeah.
And the only way they could have done it was with a shorter season.
You know what?
So at least they were able to pull it through when they were given a chance.
know very well that we got cheated out of 2 titles. And that's facts. That's inarguable. The Astros cheated and the Nationals cheated. Which, what's funny? So, Fresno, where I'm from, the Fresno Grizzlies, which is the minor league team there, when the Nationals won the World Series, they were the affiliate for the Nationals. Yes. And then the next year, the Nationals dropped them as an affiliate, and then they became the affiliate for the Astros, and then they won the World Series. So, the Fresno Grizzlies actually are pretty good in terms of the minor league world. Which, I don't know,
teams are fun to watch.
Do you think you had more celebrity status as a baseball player in England, or that a minor league player has in the States?
I think a minor league player, without question. You still hold the professional title. Like I said, there was no celebrity status that came with playing baseball. It's a cool story to tell. Yeah, I got to go play baseball in England. I got to go travel. It was a good experience. It was not a professional gig in the slightest.
Right.
It was fun.
It sounded like it'd be fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. They were small teams.
Now, were you the only American on the team?
No, they actually, because I have dual citizenship, because my dad was originally born in England, so I qualified for dual citizenship. I didn't take up. Each team has a few slots available for import players, and they can be from. We had a couple guys from Australia and one other guy from America, and he was from Pennsylvania, and he was a pitcher. He was a really cool guy. We ended up kind of exploring England together a lot, but there are slots available on each team for import players, and they're given like assisted living and they are kind of taken care of as far as travel goes and what have you.
Right.
To try and promote, not only
American players
England.
from coming
yeah,
going to England, kind of upping the sport a little bit.
exactly, and it made it a little bit more competitive because a lot of the talent does come from outside of the country
Okay.
because baseball just doesn't really exist in England yet.
Right.
So it was
Okay. So.
more interesting that way.
So you played. I'm just gonna say you played baseball at the professional level, at a professional level, right? And that was kind of a dream of yours as a kid. You wanted to be in the MLB.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely, and that was even when I wasn't a kid. That was the dream. That
So-
was the dream going through college and everything.
I have a would you rather for you. Would you rather be really good at football and be in the NFL, or be really bad at baseball, like known historically as the worst MLB player to have ever lived, and you don't get cut, you're a starting player, like for whatever reason they just won't cut you, they won't put you on the bench, you're a starter, you're in the spotlight, and you're notoriously horrible, like you get booed every time you set foot. So would you rather have the MLB dream and be terrible, or be really good at a sport that you really don't care for?
I would much rather be really good at a sport that I just don't care for. I think
ego talking.
is it the ego talk or is it just the
Yeah.
appreciation for the sport? Because yes, it would be nice to make it to the major leagues.
Yeah, 'cause that's
But-
your thing.
The whole point of making it to the major leagues is to try and assist a team in a city in pursuing a championship and
No,
succeeding.
I'm talking about like you guys make it to the World Finals. It's Game 7, and your error loses the game.
And why would I
Like-
want that? Why would I love baseball and I do appreciate baseball more so than I do football.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want that as how it goes down in the history book.
I think
wanna
I'd
make it
rather
just
be
to have
bad
it.
at football because I love football, and I don't really care too much about baseball. So I think I'd rather be really terrible at football and be like a Raider.
You'd want to be risk being hated by your hometown. Say you do make it to the Raiders. Your
I don't
team-
see. I think like I'm just like I brush off the haters. I made it.
Well, your team's not gonna enjoy you.
Well, but I'll have the memories of being a Raider.
Of being hated, the most hated Raider of all time. That's how I want to.
That's something. That's something.
Okay.
I'd be remembered.
I think
I would be
that-
remembered.
I think that right there is the ego talking.
I would be remembered. I would just brush off the haters, dude.
Yeah.
Your haters gonna hate. Haters will say it's fake,
No, it's not fake. You're just that bad.
but I'm still on the team.
Oh, jeez.
I think I'm used to being a bad player on a sports team, so it doesn't faze me as
No,
much.
I'm there with you. It's all right.
Yeah. Not an athletic kid.
No.
I tried. I had heart. You know what? You know how you suck when your coaches say you have heart. That's how you. That's
You can't
basic.
teach that. He's got heart.
He's got heart. He tries really hard. Like, I appreciate the talk, coach, but I know I suck. I know
how
I
you really
suck.
feel.
Yeah.
I get it. Don't worry.
Shout out to my coaches, all my past coaches. I love them. They're like my father figures in life. I learned a lot from them. Learned a lot of life lessons from them. A lot of how to conduct myself and how to be competitive, but not overly competitive and all that.
I mean, in reality, that's the whole point of youth sports, right? It's
Yeah.
To try and build,
Yeah.
young
feel like
men and women into.
Everyone who's played, youth sports has that coach that was just like taught them, it's like a third
valuable
parent,
life lessons. Yeah.
A lot of valuable life lessons in that. Yeah. So you really wouldn't want to be in the MLB if you could.
I wouldn't want to be the worst player in the MLB. If I could make it, I would want to be at least not the worst.
Okay.
I'd want to make a positive contribution to my team, regardless of if it's my favorite team or whatever.
Right.
I would want to be a positive addition to a team.
So this is episode number 2. Did you watch the first episode?
I listened to the first episode.
You suck.
I spend a lot of my time in the car right now.
So we got a lot more views than I was expecting. We got a little over 30 views.
Which is
I was expecting
No
2.
way. Yeah.
You and me. Yeah, I was expecting 2. But so thanks to friends and family who have, supported us this early on and
Very much appreciated.
whatever journey this is going to turn out to be. But yeah, I mean, I posted it on my Instagram. I posted it on the Gentleman Gang Instagram page, and we got a little bit of a following. We have 4 subscribers.
I will say, shout out to you for doing
I
95%
try.
of the work here. I mean, you take it home, you do all the editing, you do all of the uploading. I'm just here to talk.
I was watching the last, all the raw footage and kind of editing it together and all that. Had it all on my computer, and we said so many times, "Oh, we'll just edit it out, or we'll edit it this way." I'm like, I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't. You guys assume that I have this knowledge of how to video edit. I'm like, I barely. This is the second video we're shooting on this camera. I've never, I use Adobe Premiere, and editing this video was the first time I ever opened up the program. I literally had YouTube just on one screen and then Adobe Premiere on the next screen. So, I was just watching, pausing and playing, how do you do this? And it was so complicated, but it's
you made it work.
I made
you did
it work.
A good job.
Yeah,
you really did. So
I'm proud of myself.
I'm really glad it's you and not me, because I'm pretty sure we would post 0 content.
Yeah, you would just yell at your computer until it worked. Do you remember when we tried to set up or build your nightstands when I was here?
That was still a win for me.
You piggybacked off of me.
I didn't.
You piggybacked
nail
off
the
of me.
back onto the front. So that's a win.
So?
Alcohol was involved, and I give you a little bit of leeway due to that.
I was so confident.
You were so confident.
I was so confident.
You really were.
We had 2 identical IKEA nightstands. He was going to build one. I was going to build the other one. We raced. And Andrew won.
You understood the directions in the plans, because there's no words in IKEA directions. It's literally all
It's just
photos.
pictures.
So you kind of just have to get a gist of which direction the project's going, and then you just run with it.
Aspiring architect, you got to kind of go based off of pictures sometimes.
I was a lot better at actually putting it together. You were just a lot better at understanding what needed to really be done in order to put it together. Mm-hmm. And then there was, you were
the execution. I was the
plan.
The know-how, the instruction reader.
The instruction reader, because somebody's got to do it.
Because you're typical dad personality, where it's if you can't fix it, you get mad at it and you yell at it until you figure it out.
I'm pretty sure if you intimidate whatever object that you're trying to conquer,
you have to will it to your.
You do, and you can't tell me otherwise, because so far it's worked.
It
20%
works.
of the time, and that's a win
scare
for me.
the people around us, but
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it'll get done. Mm-hmm. Through the yelling, it'll get done.
It will, and whether it's by me or by the person near me who's annoyed that I'm yelling at it, regardless, it gets done. So, it's a win in my book. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but episode 1, I call it a success. Mm-hmm. Your brother has a podcast in England, right?
He does. I don't know as much as I probably should know about it.
Yeah, are you supporting him?
I've watched a few of his.
Okay. That one's baseball oriented.
It is baseball oriented. Yeah. It's interesting to see. He's got some of his friends and teammates in England that he has this podcast with, and they've gotten together. And they're a little bit more consistent on their timing with us, being that they're a little.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do this every other week.
Yeah, ideally we're gonna get there.
Yeah,
he's
your work schedules.
I know. I do apologize for that, and it's just not gonna get any better for a while.
Yeah, we'll work around it, but we're gonna do a couple other things too in the meantime. Eventually, we both like playing Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I kick your ass every time.
You do consistently.
Every time. Until there's a crazy mismatch where I get Olimar and you get one of the Fire Emblem sword characters, and you're just I'm just gonna spam this button and not let you hit me, and then I'm dead.
That I'm not a video game, as we know now, I am not technologically gifted. Therefore, video games fall under that category for me, and I don't really play video games. So when I figure out a button that works really well, I abuse it, and it works, and that's just how I play.
I love Smash. That was such a staple for me as a kid. Played, all the characters, tried to master all the characters, but so we want to do maybe some gameplay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Again,
do a little bit of online gaming and Smash with players from around the country.
How bad we really
see how bad we really are.
That's gonna be the test right there.
We're really good compared to like I feel like we're gonna like come across like a 10-year-old who's just gonna
be way better than us. Absolutely.
Just destroy us and then talk shit on us and make us feel bad and
it only crushed my ego completely. But that's okay.
But
what do we really expect?
So we want to do that, and then another thing we're gonna try to do is drinking games. There's a lot of drinking games out there that are new. Like there's Cards Against Humanity. We played
Do or Drink
last night. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
We should have recorded that because that was some good laughs in that one.
And it is a little bit ridiculous. I think.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity, like for me, is kind of a boring game. After
it's repetitive.
It was fun after the first 2 or 3 times, but then you just kind of figure out which cards are gonna win. Like there's definitely like the funnier cards that if you get and there's cards that just pair up really well. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's more luck of the draw than anything.
I enjoyed Do or Drink more so than I did Cards Against Humanity. There's a Do or Drink involves a little bit more of actually following through. Like you're rewarded in the game by letting yourself be a little bit more ridiculous and make it a little bit of a fool.
I prank called Walmart.
You did prank call Walmart. And I tore it on the wall.
It didn't go as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know. I have this weird anxiety about prank calling. I think it's because I feel like I was with caller ID and the way you can. I'm gonna have the cops called on me for prank. I'm gonna get arrested for prank calling. That's honestly a fear of mine, which is
as if that's ridiculous. The worst thing that happened at Walmart last night.
Yeah.
A prank call.
Yeah. Probably not.
I doubt
Walmart's one of those stores, especially because I called the local Walmart, and you live in a really bad neighborhood.
It's not the best here. It's I would say it's up and coming, but that would be a bold-faced lie.
But we're gonna kind of be all over the place. When I was really researching how to do a podcast and how to do a YouTube channel, one of the number one rules was find a niche or niche, however you want to pronounce it.
I don't know how that's pronounced.
I say niche because niche just kind of sounds
I say niche
bad.
Because I just figured it's easier.
Yeah, no, that sounds bad. Niche.
Niche? Yeah, it's a niche.
Yeah, whatever.
Niche. I don't know.
Niche.
Niche sounds like quiche, and I feel like it's.
Well, niche sounds like. I don't finish that, but you know where I was going with that, and I'd rather say quiche than the other thing. But and it was pick a category, pick a topic, and focus on that. And it was true crime or conspiracy theories or health, fitness. I'm I don't one of the tips was pick something you're really interested in and things that you kind of just research already on your own because you're interested in it, and then talk about it. I was it depends on what day it is. Sometimes I'm deep diving into ghost stories, and then other times I'm all into Pokemon cards, and then the next day I'm all into video games. So it's I have a lot of interests. I'm not one dimensional. You can't put me in a box.
It's a broad spectrum.
So we're gonna throw the number one rule out the window, and we're just gonna be all over the place, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think that's okay. I think that keeps it exciting.
You've heard the phrase, jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Is often better than a master of one. So I'd rather know very little bit about a lot of things than be an expert about one thing, and
I follow.
Because I feel that's the majority of people. You go to YouTube or you go to certain pages because they are very niche or niche, and then you learn a lot about that one topic, but then you don't revisit that topic until you're interested in that topic again. You
gotta spice it up. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta keep it interesting.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. We went on a hike yesterday, and that sucked. I'm sore.
It was an easy hike.
I wanted to take the camera out there, but I was really scared I would throw it in the river by accident.
We
it would just fly out of my hand.
Close to the river, it was a very ridiculous.
I would find a way to break it. I don't
doubt you.
Yeah, I'm a smart guy.
But I think next time you should probably bring the camera.
It was fun. It was fun. It would kick our ass.
I think next time.
Kick my ass.
I think next time we should do a little bit more of a.
We try to race And I was like, so we're gonna jog it? And you're like, no, we're gonna walk it. But like, that's not a race. And I was being so cocky.
In your defense, I had done it before, and I knew exactly how consistently uphill it was for a lot longer than you wanted it to be. So I should have let you jog it, actually.
Well, the downhill part was nice. I got through that part, no problem.
Usually is nice.
It's when we started going uphill. Which living in Moscow should have trained me better because going to and from class was for some reason uphill. Both directions.
In the snow.
In the snow. Yeah. It's funny because I got into the habit of like the sidewalk would be super icy. So I would get into the habit where I would like kind of run and then like slide on my heels and see how I was able to get like half a block on just ice and just sliding.
What part of campus?
Greek Row.
See, I didn't spend much time in Greek. Well,
we kind of did. We walked around.
Not in the daytime.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, I think next time we'd go for a stroll. We'll just call it a stroll, a nature walk. We'll bring the camera in.
Yeah.
Show
do a little bit more vlogging. Yeah, how great the hiking trails here are.
We should do the longer route. It's like a 8.5, 9 mile round trip. It's more of an all day kind of exposure, but
well, next time you come down, we need to take you to Yosemite.
Well, being that I have never been to Yosemite, that would be great.
Yeah, it's okay.
You see, I refuse to believe that it's just okay.
No, it's pretty great actually.
And
I feel like I don't take advantage of it. It's like people who live in Anaheim and don't really go to Disneyland, which is, I guess, different because Disneyland's a little bit more expensive than going on a hike.
Little bit more
just a tad more.
It's
like,
close, though.
I hear you have to pay for parking. You know, so.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Man, I hate it.
But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you've never been to Disneyland, you live in Anaheim, and it's like, you don't go to Yosemite every weekend, and you live like 20 minutes away from Yosemite.
You see,
like next to Yellowstone, it's like the number 2 ranked national park. You know, Yellowstone being number 1, and then Yosemite's pretty high up there on the list too.
I'm not quite as bad as you, but I do feel like a bad California resident for not have gone to Yosemite.
You know?
And it's not really that far away.
No, it's 3 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
We need to go on a camping trip.
We do need to go on a camping trip. That would be great. I think it needs to warm up just a lot. And perhaps not rain so much.
You know what? No, it's not that bad, honestly. It's pretty warm. If you camp on like the southern side of the mountain, or like on the lower end of the mountain, it's not as cold.
Right. Yeah.
Fresh. Just gotta pick a day it's not raining.
That's the goal. And I say that, but I still want it to rain a lot more this year. I would really appreciate some more rain.
We're introducing you to scary movies, the James Wan collection.
We have watched a fair amount of scary movies.
We have watched. Well, when you came down a couple weeks ago, we watched Conjuring 2. What else did we watch? Did we watch any of the Insidious ones? We watched quite a few. We watched Strangers, and then we started hearing weird noises around the house.
We did. Yeah, your house has been interesting lately from what I hear.
Yeah, I think I have a ghost, dude. I honestly think I have a ghost. Some weird shit has been happening at my house. Like I have, the front door is 2 doors, right?
Yeah, you got a door and a screen.
Yeah, so Alyssa was over at the house. She calls me while I'm at work, and she's like, hey, I think was someone here? I'm like, I don't think so. She's like, well, I was in the room, and then I heard someone walk through the house, meaning from the back door to the front door, and then she heard footsteps. My dog was there, Levi was there, and Levi's like barking, like kind of freaking out, like someone's in the house, and she said that she heard the screen door close, but someone was in the house.
Loud and aggressive.
So how do you close the screen door but not the front like wood main door? That's some ghost.
That sounds
activity.
Ghosted. Also, she did go and investigate and found nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. So footsteps, no person. You know. And then I texted my dad, texted my grandpa, texted my family. I was like, hey, were you guys at the house just now? And everyone's like, no. And it's like, so that doesn't help anything.
That doesn't track, okay.
Yeah, and you know my rule is like, if the dog's cool, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case because Levi was freaking out. So, and I was home alone a couple nights before, and I heard like the cabinets in my bathroom slam shut. Not like creak or open. It was like an aggressive like slam. Mm. And Levi and I looked at each other like, are you going to go check it out? No. Are you going to go check it out?
It's a mutual understanding there. Like, we're just going to ignore that, right? That didn't really happen.
And I feel like if I thought about it in my head, I would be macho in that situation.
Yeah.
But I feel like if something actually happened that was like paranormal, I would be a crying mess. I'd talk a big game, but I would be a crying mess.
You just have to do it.
Like
aggressive stomping, just the louder that you are, the better you'll feel.
Yeah, you gotta scare the monsters.
You do, right? Because
you have some interesting ghost stories.
Yeah, my old house in Martinez was decidedly haunted. It was a newer house too. It was just built in an interesting area. But yeah, there were a lot of random like knocks on the doors or shadows on the walls, and we had a lot of animals. We had 2 cats and 2 dogs when I was growing up, and we would all be hanging out in my parents' room, which is at the end of a longer hallway upstairs, and you can see down the hallway, but you can't see the doors and what have you.
Yeah.
And so we would all be, and I mean all of us, everyone in the house would be in my parents' room watching TV or hanging out, doing whatever. And you'd hear either mine or my brother's bedroom door close. And it's not like a soft close, it's always a slam.
Yes.
And that's why I like to be aggressive and loud when paranormal stuff happens. Because they're not quiet about it, they're going to slam shit. So,
ghosts are aggressive sometimes.
And so you just got to stomp around too. It makes you feel better. They get to do it, why can't I?
Yeah,
I'm good with that. But there'd be the shadows that ran across the walls, and it was as if somebody was running back and forth down the hallway. And I'm pretty good at pretending that stuff isn't there. The guy didn't really see that. That wasn't real. But when the dogs and the cats all look at it and like get uncomfortable too, that's enough of a sign for me that there's something wrong. We were one of the
being scared is fun.
It is fun, and it's kind of fun to freak yourself out
until it gets real.
Yeah.
Until it gets real, and then it's scary.
You stretch it out a little bit because it's entertaining. You get a little bit of an adrenaline rush, and it makes for a good story.
Yeah, like I'll watch scary movies by myself.
See, I won't. I don't enjoy doing that.
I will. It's scarier.
No, if anything were to happen when I was watching a scary movie by myself, I would not be confident, and I know that, so I try and avoid those situations.
We need to do a Mount Rushmore for this episode, and last time we did our top 4 whiskeys. This time, I think we're gonna do our bottom 4 vodkas.
Ooh.
Because you and I have some. When we were broke college kids, balling on a budget, looking to get schmammered at the party.
We would schmob out to the liquor store and get schmammered.
And we would get some of the worst vodkas.
It's really bad vodka when it's thick.
Because whenever we were going to go to like a house party, a frat party, an apartment party, whatever it was, we would always get vodka. Yeah. But whenever we were chilling at the apartment or at the dorms or wherever we were going, we would always get like whiskey or beer. But for whatever reason, we would go vodka. Like we thought we were going to have a better time off of vodka.
Vodka was just cheap.
Yeah.
We didn't get super hammered.
It's easier to like mix with stuff on the fly, and you just have like a case of beer.
Yeah, I feel like it's just easier to mix.
Yeah.
Younger, stupid, higher alcohol content drinks with vodka than it is whiskey.
All right, so bottom 4 vodkas. You go first.
Bottom of my list, bottom of the barrel. Would not drink it if you paid me to this day.
Would not drink it.
Would not drink it. If you handed me a free bottle,
gun to your head, life or death.
Okay, that's different.
That's what I thought.
That's different. I think I could take down a shot.
But
of
you
Potter's.
still feel very strongly about
Potter's in my bottom. My very bottom. If it's a plastic bottle, you know it's bad, and that's just kind of general knowledge. But this is just extra bad. Potter's might be the worst. Right?
So Potter's is your okay.
Number 4.
All right, so I'm gonna go 2. I'll say 2 of mine.
Okay.
Potter's is definitely on that list,
yeah.
And the only thing that I've ever had that rivals the terribleness of it is Monarchs.
Monarchs is bad.
Monarchs. Anything that comes in a plastic bottle
is not good.
You know is gonna be rough. Like you can clean wounds with that stuff. Monarchs and Potters. I remember Steve and I, roommate in the dorms. We had 4 half gallons of it.
Ugh.
and we were just like, this is awful, but it was there.
We need to finish it.
The worst hangover, and we got it like at the beginning of October, and then by Halloween we had finished it. So even though it was terrible,
You guys worked on
we
it.
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was bad. Like those were some of the worst hangovers. Like it was like, it was just, the headache was so intense that like aftertaste in your mouth, it just, the constant smell, like rubbing alcohol, it was bad. Those are some really bad vodkas. Potter's Monarchs.
I gotta say, vodka for me is not a drink of choice.
No,
It is.
no.
Most clears aren't really. I think
White
Generally
rum
more?
is pretty good.
See, I still can't. I used to enjoy rum,
Yeah.
and I
Rum's
have
good.
not been able to turn back around and enjoy rum again.
Well, I'll get you back there.
I don't think we will.
I think
I don't
I
think
believe
it's
in
gonna
myself.
I do believe in you. I just
Yeah,
don't believe
we'll
in
get
my
some
ability
Kraken.
to
We'll
know.
get some 151. We'll get some white rum.
See, I hurt just a little bit thinking about it.
I like because for me, like, whiskey makes me feel warm, but rum makes me feel.
I really need that to be like edited with the bars. I really need that.
Whiskey and rum makes me feel cold.
Okay.
Well, rum does. Like, it's like
Rum
a
does.
good, like.
Cold rum.
Shut up.
I see the problem.
Cold
Okay.
rum. Cold
Cold
rum.
rum. I got it. So moving on with our right.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore bottom.
Number 3
That's
for
bad.
me is going to be Burnett's, and specifically cherry Burnett's. That is.
So Burnett's, I actually had a flavor that I liked of Burnett's, and it was iced tea flavored
I've never
Burnett's.
heard of iced tea.
It was
Burnett's.
iced tea Burnett's, and I would mix it with iced tea,
That I understand.
kind of hat on a hat.
I got
And,
you there.
Yeah.
I got you there. But cherry Burnett's in itself, I have always said that taking
Why'd
shots
you
of
get it?
vodka because it was like $3.
Yeah, it is bad.
It was extremely cheap, and I was like, yeah, cherry flavor. People like cherry,
Yeah.
and I was wrong. It was a huge mistake, and I'm pretty sure I had that bottle for like a month and a half, and it was not a big bottle. It was just it was the bottom of the barrel stuff that if we had nothing else, that we would drink that. But it was that bad.
Yeah,
I
I would
would
say
say-
Burnett's is also on my list. I did like that one flavor
That
of
one
it,
flavor.
but Burnett's is pretty bad.
I've always said that taking shots of vodka is like swallowing hot staples, and
Oh, that's an accurate.
it is.
You just shattered the glass for me. Like, yeah, it is.
It's taking shots of hot staples, and Burnett's cherry is where that saying originated from. Yeah.
How was it? Was the cherry flavor strong?
It
I
was
haven't
a
had.
strong aftertaste. The initial shot,
Did it smell like a dentist's office?
it smelled worse than a dentist shot. It was like
Like,
cherry
you know that,
cough
like
syrup,
that
but on
hardcore
steroids?
cherry like
Yeah.
paste that they use to clean your,
Yeah,
and it just has a really strong
But it
smell.
it was worse than that because it was just extra rubbing alcohol on top of it. It was not the business.
Go again, because I already have 3 in.
Okay.
Burnett's, Monarchs, Potters.
Kettle One is going to be number 3.
Dude, we have
Bad vodka's bad vodka.
Bad vodka is
I
bad
think
vodka.
it's a fairly generic list of bad vodkas. What's yours? Let's go.
Kettle One is my
Okay.
4th. It's gonna round out my list at
Okay.
number 4.
I
Kettle One's pretty bad.
my last one is actually going to be Sky.
Okay.
I
Sky-
don't enjoy Sky vodka. There's something about it, and I think it's just because it's just a little extra sharp, and that's just the best way I can describe it. It's just extra sharp, and I don't appreciate it.
Okay. I don't think I've had Sky vodka a couple times, but I've never had a bad experience. I think Sky vodka is what gets used in Jungle Juice.
I don't know if it's a specific vodka that gets used in Jungle Juice. We have backseat drivers here. We're talking
Everclear.
about
They're
Everclear.
talking about Everclear.
Everclear. And we've had several bad nights on.
Had potato vodka.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have not had
Yeah.
vodka.
It's
How was
strong.
that? Oh, okay.
It's strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was a mistake that I made.
It wasn't terrible. That's why I didn't make my list, but it was strong.
I don't
It
think
was
that's a bad
so.
thing. to
Yeah,
have
being strong
vodka.
isn't a bad thing. basically bad distilled vodka is, there's a difference between strong, like we're not just naming really strong vodkas because we think they're bad.
No.
These aren't strong vodkas, these are just bad bottom shelf
Bad
vodkas. I
vodkas
think we
are bad.
know enough about alcohol to be able to discern bad.
And I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've
I've had potato vodka, so that
I think
in Idaho.
We went to
in all
school in
places.
Idaho.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself for not have had it. I haven't had potato vodka, and I'm disappointed in myself. I'll just say that.
I mean, a lot of vodkas are made from potatoes, so you probably had, but not like from scratch potato vodka.
No, not from no.
Yeah.
No, it's a very Idaho thing.
Yeah. The Palouse. I miss that place, man. We
Honestly,
need to
I
go
do
back.
too.
We need to go back and walk around. We need to go
Go
check out all the old spots. We need to go back to Narnia.
Yeah, go back to Narnia. I think we should.
The Arboretum.
Yeah.
The Tree Fort. If it's still there. I
It's still
couldn't
there.
even remember where it's at.
It's. I don't remember.
The Tree Fort was a party house that we would go to.
It was one of the frequent flyer party houses. It was. We need to go back. We do need to make a trip and go re-explore
We do.
Moscow
We do.
and perhaps Pullman because it's a good little spot. I do miss it up there.
So we're coming up on an hour, dude. I think that's a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, as always. You know, we're getting better at this. Watching that first one while I was editing it was rough. I'm like, stop touching your face. Stop touching your face. Like it was.
You do really get to see your little nervous quirks.
Yeah, I knew I was nervous, but I really saw it.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one's a little bit better. We're only gonna get better. We're only gonna have more stuff to talk about.
I feel
Next
like
time maybe we'll actually tell some more of our ghost stories because I know we
Yeah.
have more.
Yeah.
But
No, this is fun.
yeah.
I've enjoyed
Again,
this.
I've seen you the most in the last month and a half, 2 months, than I have in a really long time. So
Couple
I
years.
So
It's worth it.
yeah, let me know if you can make it down for the next one, if I gotta come back up here. But thanks for watching as always.
For sure.
You know, friends, family, share this, spread the word. We really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks.